Dude, YouTube's so fucking stupid sometimes. Alright, well, doing this really quick instead. Yeah, that's great. Okay, there we go. There we go. Just don't want too loud either. Oh, turn down. There we go. There we go. Oh, I have some fresh stuff now. Oh. So fun. Oh, that's regardless because Zukov's done this. He likes to go rummage for that shit, and I don't like it, but what am I gonna do about a little pooch like that? Oh my god, it smells fucking amazing. Holy shit. Holy schmizzle. That's gonna be nice. Go. Finally get some stuff grounded. Oh my goodness. I have to smoke. Whoa. Damn, dog. What the fuck? Whoa. Hey. Oh. 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 What's your deal, bro? Oh, I'm supposed to go now because you're being irascible. Oh. Oh, look at that booty. Look at that booty. Booty, booty. Booty, 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 booty. You're insane. Oh, that dog. Fucking nuts. This is already outside doing that. Like, jeez Louise. Dang, bro. Don't think there was anything exactly very exciting going on outside. Especially if it's cold out there and blue. Hey, hey. Fucking dog. Absurd doge. Go. Boom. Ugh. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It'll also be good to turn this heater on now. There we go. There we go. That should hopefully be good. There we go. Oh, that speaker's gonna, well, not speaker, but heater. It's gonna be nice. And it's gonna be nice and good. Ah, fresh warmth. Fresh warmth. Oh my goodness, fresh greens. Oh my god, it's gonna be keefy too. Should definitely keep that in mind. Yeah, definitely keep that in mind. Alright, now get rid of this grossness that's left in this. Get out of it. Ugh. Oh my god, it's gonna be so much better. The person I've been having to deal with. Oh, my lord. My lord. Alrighty. Where'd he go? Took off. Don't have to worry about him sneaking out, but I do have to worry about him barking endlessly over there. I don't need every tiny little noise making them go boof. There we go. Oh my goodness. Freshness. Oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be amazing. Sweet. Man, after like the last like 2 or 3 something days of just like gross ass resin shots, these are gonna be fucking amazing. These are gonna be a beautiful. Oh yeah, yeah. So much better. So much better. Holy fuck. I knew it. The little shitbag. Seriously. It's probably ill-advised to have this at like 6 in the afternoon, but whatever. Look it. Look it. Finish this bad boy off. My goodness. Let's see what's happening with the world today, huh? Because I know at least there's a funny little thing of like Trump already getting called out by like a cleric or some shit. Or like some sort of a priest, which I thought was kind of amusing. Though, honestly, in a way, just kind of, to me at least, falls on deaf ears in a way. Especially with like a very like theocratic, like edged up nation and shit, with a lot of people, you know, like that. I feel like, you know, a lot of the, you know, do as Jesus does kind of rhetoric doesn't really work too well. Like, at all. Apparently, it's not even the first time this cleric, like, she called him out like a few times before in the past, but for some reason still goes to, you know, these like little events where he's at, mostly just to do that. So I'm just like, all right. I mean, I don't think the message is getting anywhere, sadly, but hey, I mean, you know, it's something at least. At least, you know, can't go anywhere without at least having some sort of motherfucker just being like, you know, just, you know, like heckling his ass, or at least, you know, kind of giving him at least a little shit. I can at least be satisfied if, you know, Trump at least once a day gets some sort of shit. Hello. Hello. A lot of greetings. Evening, afternoon, morning, or whatever fucking time it is. Like that? Well, thank you. It's one of many hats. One of many that I got. Ugh. Ooh, that felt good. But because it's nice and cool, or, you know, out today and shit, you know, the winter garb kind of helps out a lot more. And this is wool, too, so even though it doesn't, like, you know, look like it, it does keep my head warm. Unfortunately, just not my ears. But hey, at least it's, you know, at least it's nice and warm. I just need to get, like, those little earmuffs or something. Kind of music like. I mean, it's honestly all sorts. I mean, I'm kind of a music generalist, broadly, honestly. And I'm not one of those dudes that just says that. I actually mean that. Like, I'll listen to metal, rock, blues, you know, country if it's good. And then, you know, like ska, punk, especially like ska, you know, stuff. That's one of my more favorite genres. And metal. Those are like my two go-tos usually. Funk, you know, I like me some funk too. And I could get into rap too if I, you know, enjoy it. Because there's some rap artists out there that I actually kind of like, so. definitely the metal rock gothic scene. Oh yeah. It used to be a lot more in the like metal scene and shit, but not as much. Now I'm kind of like more blended off into like the punk scene at least around here now at this point. Because a lot of the punk scene also overlaps a lot with other genres, including metal too. Because at least where I'm at, like the metal scene and the punk scene tend to overlap a lot, and kind of collaborate on like different events and shit like that. Which actually, there's a punk show that's going to be happening on the 26th that I'm going to go to with me and the boys and shit, and that'll be fun. That'll be exciting. I also need to find out like another date in February too, because I know there's something that I have going on that day actually, where I'm going to be on the show with low energy videos, and I want to make sure I can do that and also potentially go to the show too. So I'll just have to kind of figure out time frame stuff. But considering the guys from Ireland and shit, like I'll probably wake up at noon. I think it'll be like 12:30, I think, or at least by like 1 when it starts, I think, or something like that. See the Browning on February 7th. I mean, that kind of depends on where at specifically on the 7th. I mean, if it's not in like Vancouver, the Portland area, or some shit like that, I'm probably not going to be able to go. Marilyn Manson announced tour dates. I want to go so bad. Oh, is he actually touring again? I seen him once back in 2019, and I was almost going to see him before he got like canceled or whatever the fuck. But I missed out on that. But I at least got a chance to see him in 2019. I've been wanting to see him again at some point. Just haven't obviously had a chance because motherfucker ain't touring up until I guess just now. So, burp. It looks like he's kind of almost like kind of partially returning to form a little bit because the dude's like been fucking like losing some weight and stuff, and actually doesn't look like Fat Manson anymore. Because for a while there, he was kind of getting like turtlenecks and all sorts of different particular garbs to where he would hide some of his like some of the roles and stuff. I'm like, oh no, poor Manson, he got chunky. He's been doing really good. He's sober now and shit. So now that's why I kind of wonder, because I remember 2019, obviously he was pretty drunk as fuck at the concert and stuff, but I mean, on the contrary to what a lot of people say about that, like he performed pretty good. I want to say like the best, in comparison to his height, but for the show, it was a good show. So, I mean, to me, it would have to matter like how, like cut, kind of straight edge he is about shit. Is it gonna be one of those dudes that is like, all right, I'm seeing my new stuff because it's like, not from my raunchy vice and sin past, or something, or is he gonna just not give a fuck? News are so different compared to his other ones too. I haven't heard the new one yet. I've heard the We Are Chaos album, but I haven't heard the newest one. No, he's still super chill. Well, I imagine he's super, yeah. I mean, it's Manson, so you can't really, say that, he ain't gonna not be chill. I will say it had kind of a weird arc hanging out with Kanye and shit. Like those little photo ops and stuff that I remember he was at, he literally looked like some sort of elder priest or some shit. It was weird, when he was at least having his little Kanye arc. And then he, Kanye went fucking psycho mode, even though he already kind of was going psycho mode at that point, but not completely psycho mode. So it's just like, oof. Got on vinyl. Nice. Bro's making his rounds. I know, dude. I'm kind of glad that Kanye's now finally falling out into obscurity, but I wouldn't be surprised if the next couple years and shit we'll probably see him around again, considering the current waves of bullshit. Focus us. I'm gonna scroll for a bit. No worries, man. Of course, I'll always be around. Do my usual bullshit. Yeah, considering like the trends moving on and stuff, I always wonder. It's like like how comfortable are like literal like fucking like Nazi types going to be the next couple of years and shit. Especially after like the literally unequivocal fucking salute that Musk did twice. And so many different media outlets were like, oh shit, he did that, cut off. Well, it just only show like the first one, but didn't show the second one. He did it twice. Oh man, I do love some of the absurd, stupid fucking excuses that people have been making. I've been hearing this one get around the around the block lately. He did it because he's autistic and doesn't really know like social norms and etiquette and shit like that. And I'm sitting here being autistic myself, thinking like literally no, like literally no. It's like, I'm one. Have I ever thought that would be a good idea to just see how because I don't know social norms or some shit? No, that never comes across my fucking mind. Nor has like anyone that I know that's also autistic is like done the same. So it's like, give me a fucking break. That excuse is just like extra. So that one I find honestly like offensive but funny. It's like offensively funny, but it's just because of like you can't like people cannot be that fucking obtuse. Because even like literal Nazis on social media are saying that was base and shit. Like if they're out there doing it, then or even critiquing it too. It's like, was it like a good step? Did he do like the exact perfect way of doing it? Blah, 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 blah. It's like some of them were literally critiquing his form over it. It's just like, huh? It's like if they are doing if that far about it, then you can't just obfuscate that he wasn't doing that. It's like, give me a break. At least to most people at this point now, it's pretty fucking obvious. And we'll also find it a little adorable that he did his little oof. It's that weird fucking face. Like if there's one thing about his spurgy little ass that definitely doesn't understand like anything socially is how to make proper faces. Like the dude is incapable of making like a face that doesn't look fucking weird. Like it's though. Then again, I think a lot of it's just because the dude just has a very straight up weird ass fucking face. I'm sure a lot of that probably has to do with different like surgeries and shit like that to like adjust certain fucking things. The reason why I did it though is because it's a complete psyop. A psyop? That one's new. Out of all the things I've heard so far, that's new. I haven't heard that one yet. So actually, I'm kind of curious about like what would make it a psyop. Psychological operation. Well, I know what psyop is. I'm just kind of curious about like what makes this a psyop. And I haven't heard this one before, so I'm actually kind of curious. I probably won't agree, but I mean, hey, I'm at least willing to hear this one out. I also am now starting to kind of regret having this coffee right now. Getting coffee jitters. Oh, that felt good. Ooh, oh, that felt nice. Did it give people more to actually freak out about? I mean, I don't think he would like need to be doing that like with a very specific intentional thing. He just kind of does it on the sheer virtue that he just exists. So I mean, and and arguably, honestly, there's a lot more reasons than just that to be mad about him over, because there's been like at least different what the fuck, fucking phone call right now, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, whatever, just have to let that fucking play on, I guess. But I mean, I know at least with like with him, there's already been different reasons to get mad at him for. I mean, the dude has been a advocate and has talked about like the great replacement theory and all sorts of various different things that are genuinely like white supremacist style conspiracies and shit. I mean, he's already kind of has dog whistled it, for a while. And, he can say, oh, it's trolling or this and that, and I'm just being edgy all he wants. But, I mean, a lot of it really is just because he kind of is one. And that, and plus he's, a money laundering, rich cocksucker that, fucks over his workers endlessly and shit. I mean, there's a lot of, factors about how, he treats, his workers and his employees. For me, I mean, arguably, there's a lot of reasons, and all of it just kind of rounds up to the point of he just exists. So pretty much. So, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of reasons to be, like generally kind of mad at him for, but if at least when it comes to is he a Nazi or not, that one I just kind of at least just proves it. I mean, it was kind of just straight up a mask off moment for him. Because if it's a psyop, then it's like, well, wouldn't wouldn't he try to go the opposite direction with it? Be like, hey, let's try to push Trump to advocate for EVs or some shit. Because I mean, he's a big EV producer and shit of Tesla, right? But Trump is all about drill, baby, drill. You gotta drill. So that's a very big conflict of interest there. So I mean, you would think there would be like some sort of a little flip to where at least even some libs at least won't be like, oh my god, how dare he? They'll be it'll be more like, well, at least someone's trying to transition us into EVs, even though he still sucks. Pushing out symbolism. Well, that I can't agree with, because they're wanting to see how far they can take it without going like literal swastikas on the armband and shit like that kind of thing. I mean, and arguably they don't have to go that, to really, push it. I mean, arguably, like a lot of policies that would be enacted, would, kind of show that and push it more so than what aesthetics and what shit they do on the stage and stuff. But at least for like the city council shit, I mean, granted, that's like the first time I think full on big national character is done well internationally, really. Someone doing that, because usually it's always been isolated to just far right, white nationalists and Nazi, rallies and shit like that. But not so much anymore. Though I do think that a lot of the politicians and people in the higher ups are going to kind of try to keep shit like that on the DL though. But Musk, I don't think he's really overtly that capable for it. He likes the attention. Deliciosa coffee. I think before I go Portland, maybe I'll crack one or something. Maybe. Oh my goodness. This gas. Let's call it a gas, that's for sure. You're feeling way much better about it in comparison to choking on little fucking resin balls and shit. Because, yeah, that was so disgusting. Ugh. But that's definitely much better. I like how he just locked himself in the laundry room. Why does my dog always do that? I don't get this little fucking bean. If I knew he was going to be such a bean, I would have just called him Bean. Or just Mr. Bean. Because that's pretty much is what he is. He crawls up into one sometimes. He'll morph into different like little bean shapes whenever he's, sleeping. It's kind of adorable. Add a coffee. God damn it. Well, that's why it's starting to flow up a little bit. Our bottle cans. That just means I should do a little ball drop at some point. Oh my goodness, my buddy's like persistent about me. Want to go Portland or not? Yeah, I'm just gonna tell him just pop in here if he hasn't yet. Oh, misspelling. Don't need no misspellings there now. There we go. Just make sure it goes through, and yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. I just was trying to send a message via like notification. Sometimes doesn't always work, but it did on down, so that's at least good. But, oh shit, boy's out of data. Goddamn, motherfucker. Well, at least I'll say this much. I'll at least have this bad boy and go down to Port a little bit. Maybe I might stream over there actually too a little bit, because why not? Hanging around Portland stream. Actually, to do that, I probably want to charge this a little bit. Just to keep the battery juiced. Just gotta make sure it doesn't fucking get all tipsy topsy turvy like it always likes to do. Rip. There we go. There we go. Oi, hey. Don't be dumb. There. On. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Actually, that perfect. Sweet. It worked. Usually that type of bullshit don't. Because usually always wants to fucking, like, be all topsy-turvy. And that type of shit is annoying. Don't like that shit. But at least now it's not doing that, so that's good. That's as good. Also make sure I got the old channel. There we go. I know how YouTube likes to be a little nanny about some comments being like, no. That might be a little mean. Or that might be a little, controversial. I love how, like, over half the time, like 3/4 of the time, I try to post comments about, like, being like, fuck Trump, or, like, or just saying, like, right-wing, dipshits are shitty and blah, 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 whatever the fuck. It's like, nah, how about not? How about you don't get to post that? It's so dumb. It's so ridiculous. It's like, you would think if, people on, like, those videos or streams or, community posts or whatever the fuck, wanted to, like, regulate certain things in their comments and shit, they would do it themselves. We don't need YouTube doing it. Stupid. At least like with the all messages, they'll allow shit to go through, but as long as it's, because they'll at least let the vulgar stuff, go through and shit. Or stuff that's like, shocking language. Like Nazi sometimes. Like that one, sometimes I won't see go through unless I go for all messages. I'm just like, it's just, I mean, overall, it's a fucking word. I mean, it's, just merely saying it doesn't really mean one thing or another. Just about how to use the word. Like Nazi punks, fuck off. That's a positive word, way of saying it. So it's like, I just can't say what we want, damn it. Regulate our own shit. And honestly, especially with like how like these different platforms have been going, it's just like utter blatant hypocrisy with it too. And so a lot of these platforms tend to push themselves more right leaning, or at least prefer that with a bias more so than not, because a lot of places like like with Twitter, especially these days, or like even with Meta to an extent, they're pretty much starting to like morph into this weird fucking like little like havens for people being like like it's just fucking going off about like how the groomers are a thing, maybe going into like weird JQ shit, especially on Twitter. There's a lot of weird JQ shit on there. Despite the irony of like Musk saying, "Oh, it's a safe place for people who are Jewish and stuff," it's like literally no, it's not. That's what she'll have to see who you're replying to. Lol, instead of top chat. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. It's just really annoying. Because even in these situations, because sometimes I'll be chatting and stuff, but then like someone will be like, "Why are you reading my message?" I'm like, "I didn't see it," and then I'll do that and I'll be like, "Well, YouTube didn't let me see it until I switched it over." So I mean, that's another example of it. Because the whole kind of premise of a social media platform is to be social. So I mean, with that in mind, it should at least just be the onus of the content creators or the owners of like said videos or streams or whatever to be able to have the onus to do that. Hence why like when it comes to like certain like communities, so to speak, around some of these at least like streamers, like podcasters or like political commentator types and shit. They always kind of talk about like the community itself also forcing rules too on top of themselves too, because they want to like obviously cultivate kind of a like a little space that at least like-minded people can come in, or if people disagree can at least understand and respect that there's at least like a line in the sand where you eventually are just gonna fuck off or get fucked off basically. I mean, and to me that's pretty much like how I roll with it, but just a lot more laissez-faire with it. Like my only no exception rule are pretty much just like weird JQ types and Nazi types, which every now and then they do pop in here. I let them stick around for a little bit, so I could be a cat playing around with his prey, for a minute. But after that, I'm just like, all right, fuck off. When does music get quiet? Hey. I was just literally at the very end of it. What the fuck? There we go. Oh, live version. Come on. Come on, playlist. You're failing me a little bit here. Son of a bitch. Wow, this is a very... there we go. There we go. I was about to start bitching about how that little randomized playlist was being bitchy. I was about to. I was almost there. This Husky program. Same arguments for the 40s, nothing new. Well, of course. But, considering that, there's kind of a weird repeat of history and shit, at least a rhythmic pattern, I think, there's at least, honest to, kind of fuck on them a little bit, or at least, especially for people that aren't aware of it, to hear those arguments and stuff, and at least kind of plant the seed of being like, yeah, they suck. So, I mean, in a way, there's, more value in it, more than ever lately about that. Or else, I would say, yeah. I mean, I guess it just kind of depends on like, where you're from at that point too, because in some places this isn't really much of an issue. But in the U.S., it unfortunately is. So it's like, wish we didn't have to, but hey, I live in Portland, so if they want to come down here and try to fuck shit up again, I'm more than happy, to like, tell them to fuck off, like anyone else and shit, while blasting Nazi punks fuck off by Dead Kennedys and shit like that. So, either way, I'm okay with it. Well, in a sense of like, at least, like I've been through it before. It's not like, I won't go through it again if I have to. I don't want to necessarily, but if that's what it has to be, then fuck it. So be it, I suppose. I mean, if anything, I'd be more prepared now versus last time. Just because of a lot of, the things I've learned, from my time back in 2020 and shit. Like, I learned a lot, when it came to, like, direct action and doing protests and stuff like that since, so if anything, I'd be more prepared now than I was in the past. So I won't be worried about it. Besides, I just, also live in an area where, a lot of the ramifications with, the federal policies of the administration aren't going to be as negatively impactful. But because of that, there's certainly going to be a lot of action, because there is an ICE office and facility that also has like detaining cells too. That is in Portland. So, and I remember back in the day, there was a lot of protests over there too. So, and apparently there on the 20th, there was a surprise protest over there that, where, the ICE facility got a little makeover, apparently. So, if anything, there's already, it like caught, the feds off guard too. They were like, what the fuck? It's like, oh shit, quick, get the gear on. We need to start beating people. And then in an attempt to detain one of them, a cop tripped and fell on his ass, and then another one accidentally maced themselves. So, I mean, if anything, it was kind of a silly comical level of events, honestly. Wish I was there for it, because that would have been fucking hilarious to see. Watching a cop trip on his ass and his buddy trying to mace another, agitator or something, just maces himself. They're not sending their best, ISIS. They're not sending their best. Sad. I don't think I'll not get old of, of doing the Trump impersonation. Especially lately, I'm going to have way too much fun with it. The next 4 years are going to probably drive everyone nuts with it. Looney Tune shit. It really is like some Looney Tune ass shit, dude. And that's the thing. Sometimes with like, the protests and stuff, every now and then there really can be some funny shit that happens. They don't feel nice and stoned around these from there. Nice. Nice. But, I mean, despite some of the amusement that can happen, I mean, at the end of the day, it's always like, good, productive stuff that I think tends to happen a lot from that type of shit. And plus, and the few that I've been to in the last year, or at least this past year, I mean, they've actually been, at least in my mind, very productive about like learning about different organizations, especially local ones, and hearing like, stories directly from people who are Palestinian that have like, that have family that are still over there and shit, stuff like that. Also met a kind of like a folk, like kind of a country folk / like folk punk artist, David Rofix, who lives in Portland. He happened to be at the protest, and he walked by me while I was, just kind of hanging out, checking things out. And I looked over. I was like, "Are you David?" He's like, yeah, that's me. And I was like, well, holy shit. I was like, well, hell yeah. I've been wanting to meet this guy. I just figured I'd meet him at like one of his shows versus like at a rally, but hey, that makes it even better in a way. But the dude's a very, very major, prolific artist too. Like he's always writing different music and shit like that. On his YouTube channel, he usually uploads a lot of them as he writes them and shit. He has like little essays, about where he talks about like some of his feelings about certain things and shit like that. He also writes songs about even some like obscure stuff that even then I haven't heard of from the news. And even if I look up some of the stuff, it's not really much on it outside of like maybe like a couple local outlets. So the dude does like a lot of his research learning about like different acts of like agitation and like struggle for when it comes to working poor and poor folk and shit. On top of things like the genocide in Gaza and stuff, because he has a whole album dedicated to that he made not that long ago. I think he also just recently wrote a couple songs too. Cool way to meet an artist. Oh, definitely. Wouldn't be the first nor the last local artist I've ever met, around here. Like, there's another one of a band that I'm been following for quite a while, Los Malvados, and I've buddies with a couple of them, and one of them, the main guy, Eric Molina, that found the band. Like one time after the latest show I went to with Bridge City Sinners, with them opening with a 1876 opening as well, which is like another local band, powwow punk band and shit. That's pretty much made up of all indigenous people from like the Blackfoot, Cherokee, to the Lakota Sioux, like all sorts of different backgrounds of shit, and basically just talks about like indigenous rights and indigenous struggle in their music, and it is fucking awesome, and it goes hard as fuck. Like straight up hard as fuck. The pits get insane when they're playing. But I got a chance to meet Eric a bunch of times, basically to the point where we end up being like friends / acquaintances for a little bit. And then the last show, when I saw him, we're basically like, hey, let me just get you my number real quick and blah 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 blah. And then from there, it was like, hey, once everything's all said and done, once I pack everything up and head back to my pad, you want to come smoke up a little bit? And me and my friend Logan and Brian, who's staying with me too, we all just looked at each other and we're like, yeah. We all were just like, no shit. This is like, an opportunity, I think that, would be pretty fucking cool. At base DC. Oh, yeah. And also, he's just like, like a really laid back dude. And, like him and I have talked, like politics occasionally off and on. And obviously chief up a lot. And he will occasionally, be lurking around every now and then. And we'll chief up while I'm just doing my things here. At least I know on the Insta streams, when I was doing some Instagram streams for a little bit, he was also hanging out over there too. So, I mean, like, the dude is just like a laid back guy. And it's like, and he was making a little jokes like, instead of like a virtual, chief session, we need to like, be in my pad, they actually chief up for once finally. I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Oh, that's right. I wanted to show this piece of art that they got from this artist. I was painting something for them at the show, but I just remembered the photos on this phone. But it's a really awesome photo, a really awesome painting. But also now, finally, on the 26th, we're going to go see them in Vancouver. My friend Rip City, who's one of the moderators in here, he's finally going to see them for once, because the entire time I've known the band and been chilling with them for like a year and a half, basically at this point, damn near almost 2 years. Like been seeing them, rise from like humble beginnings to like where they're at now, and it's just like. And my friend has not been able to have an opportunity to see them once up until, coming up here pretty soon. I think this Wednesday, if I remember correctly. It's either Wednesday or Saturday. I forget which. But you know, and like, and which is kind of funny because outside of my friend Tyler, Metalty, like no one else, you know, was able to see him until Logan and Brian finally got a chance to see him because they got, you know, tickets to go see him. Where, you know, we were able to, you know, like finally bring some friends over. I was gonna like get more of them, you know, for my buddies, but they were the only ones available. So I was like, all right, well, getting these tickets now. So, and for them especially, it was like probably the most invaluable show ever, you know, even for me. Like, I mean, I've seen these guys maybe like 9 or 10 times now, and that was probably legit like when it comes to value just in general for the Bang and Buck, you know, seeing them, like that was definitely up there. Oh, don't be down on me. So that should make it easier. I don't even know why I haven't done it yet. Get this fucking stupid child safety lock off. Come on. Wow, this one's stuck in here. What the fuck? Seriously? Oh my god, this thing is like in here. What the hell? Normally it doesn't take this much effort. Jesus. There we go. Fucking Christ. That was like that fucker was in there. Never had that much fucking struggle just to get that fucking thing in there. Jesus. Man, that's like even a stoner safety lock. I mean, goddamn. The fuck? Goodness gracious. Oh, what time is it right now? Oh, just only after 7. Oh, just, you know, the Brian's are seriously pestering me. You know, I'm sorry. Fuck it. Do this really quick because his. Do this. Oop. There we go. Question mark? Come on. Nope. Yep. There we go. Boom. Boom. Now to wait for that to send to make sure it does. Does it really want to be a bitch right now? Because I really don't want to pop out just to fucking retype that goddamn message and send it. I really don't want to do that. Really. It's being a bitch. It's literally just sitting there just giving me the circle, and that's it. Well, fuck me. If it sends, it sends. If it don't, it don't, I guess. Whatever. Everything in the South complained that they never had blizzard warnings when it was Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf of America sucks. Dude, like, okay, so what's up? Okay, you just brought it up, and I actually want to, like, wonder about this. Like, can America legally, like, call the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America? And, like, because isn't that basically just, like, some international, like the Gulf of Mexico is also partially international waters, isn't it? Shut up! The U.S. government got me out here dead naming the Gulf of Mexico. I know, they're just dead naming the Gulf of Mexico. It's just... What the fuck? Okay, I'm about to detonate this, dog can of whoop ass. I tell you what. Shut the fuck up. Damn, bro. Fucking nuts. Anyway, like I was saying, like you would think that, like, like because the Gulf of Mexico is also like predominantly because like of just the broader region, right? Because a lot of the Gulf Coast, outside of like Texas, Louisiana, all that bullshit, like it's Mexico, right? Like, so it's basically just, wouldn't there have to be a broader like unanimous agreement to the countries that like were within the Gulf of Mexico region to agree to that? Which I think at least Cuba to an extent would be a part of that, wouldn't it? At least just a little bit. Which of course America's not going to give a fuck about what they think. So I guess their opinion is null and void anyway. But, and honestly, considering what, a lot of policies, with especially like considering cartels, terrorist organizations, which I suppose I don't inherently disagree, depending on which cartel we're talking about, I guess. Some of them like to try to keep more business oriented. A lot of them are legit just fucking like, private PMC, fucking black market, like militia groups and paramilitary groups and shit. Like, so, and of course they do a lot of fucked up shit. So I get it, but like there's no excuse to like use that as a justification. So you can basically legally bomb Mexico without necessarily declaring war, because the war on terror and shit like that Bush decided to make sure, got through and stuff when it came to Iraq. Fuck you very much, Bush. Arguably another reason why I think Bush is like fundamentally going to, worse when it comes to everything, because he set the precedent for a lot of shit that's going to start going down. Gulf of International Waters is it's a couple of tiny chunks in the middle of it. Oh, so it's just basically like a little cluster in the center of it. So it's owned basically predominantly by, Mexico and the United States. I mean, so how, like, what, like, so, I mean, would it just be arbitrary, and thus, like, would the rest of the world, like, just go with that? Like, if I looked on Google Maps, would it change to that? Like, I mean, so what's, what qualifies it to be renamed? So, like, what, that's kind of, I guess, the ultimate question. It's like, what qualifies a name change when it comes to something like that? Especially if technically it's owned by multiple states. It's not just Mexico and U.S. either. I think like Belize and I think Costa Rica, like a few of the other Central American countries also have coastal border waters, with Gulf of Mexico too. So, I mean, obviously they would have a say to an extent. This say I think is mostly posturing. Well, of course it is. I mean, it's all posturing. But like, I mean, is there like I guess just like, is there a legal ability to just do that like that, and that just is? I feel like there would have to be like some sort of like process to something like that. I mean, because honestly, I do wonder that. Not that I want it to be renamed. It's like, because I'm not going to call it the Gulf of America. I'm still going to call it what it is. Like, I mean, because, I mean, it's like, because it's like, why change it now when it's pretty much for all intents and purposes, it's always been known as that. Outside of maybe like colonial Spanish era or some shit. Beyond that, like, it's always been known as that. So, I mean, like, what the fuck? Yeah, I had a little loogie. It's tickling my throat. As much as I can just claim large chunks of Russia as their land on maps. Do they claim territory for Russia? I know they do that for other areas. Like, I know to an extent the Kashmir region, like, Tibet, and all that shit. Like, I know they already do that with Taiwan, obviously. Not really. Well, I guess, you're probably just saying this example, but I know with like other countries and shit, they definitely do. So I mean, I guess in that way, it's just basically it's their version versus what internationally is recognized. In 2000, the UNCLOS, United Nations Convention on Law of the Sea, changed the rules about international waters. Huh. So what does that mean? I'm assuming obviously it has something to do with this. Getting that trash bin. Yeah. Kobe. It allowed countries to extend their boundary areas of natural resource deposits on a continental shelf. That sounds very corporate, doesn't it? And people wonder why the UN is ineffectual now. Eek. I know. So then the U.S. and Mexico drew the line in the middle of those two chunks. No more international waters in the Gulf. So when it comes to the namesake of the Gulf, who has the right / ability to change it, the U.S. or Mexico? I guess just a sheer military power, just with brute strength, the U.S. But when it comes diplomatically and other factors, economically too, would Mexico technically have the right to that? And obviously going to be like, fuck you, puta. Fuck you, puta madre. It stays the same. It stays the Gulf of Mexico. Fuck you, Dominicano. Goddamn gringo. By the way, their new president based, I like her. She's got a little sass, honestly. She don't get no fucks. Like, I mean, seems like she actually is fairly decent, also from what I could tell. Northern part is Gulf of America, southern part is Golfo de Mexico. So that means that there's literally going to be two names for one fucking Gulf. Why does it have to be this convoluted? Why is it convoluted? I realize I said it wrong. Fuck you. Whatever. Still in the brain. I'm having a bite a moment, okay? Whatever. But, like, what the fuck? That's just me riffing. Well, realistically, that's probably going to be the case. Why is this bitch ass fucking calling me? Oh my god, this guy's persistent, and that means that my fucking message should not go through. God damn it. Motherfucker. You know what? Give me like 1 minute or two. Wow, I literally answered it and he ended the call. That motherfucker. What the fuck? You bitch! That bitch! That just means that, yeah, my message didn't go through. God fucking alright, whatever. I'm waiting for him to call back then, I guess. Like, what the fuck? You bitch! Wait. Is there a way for me to call him back, actually? Because I'll just do that instead. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Maybe right here. Oh, yeah, I can do it. All right. You know what? Give me like 2 minutes. It's like, how dare you? You're not doing anything. Yeah. There we go. Hold music intensifies. Well, hey, I had to take a minute, all right? Had to let him know about the situation. Right. I mean, why wouldn't Mexico retain naming rights to at least a part of it? Well, yeah, because they obviously deserve at least some sort of, hey, Republicans are all about their, more land thus means more power and voting, and, authority and shit, right? Like, when it comes to electoralism and shit. If they're all about that, then Mexico technically would probably have more rights to this shit than, we do. So, I'd say Mexico has, predominant rights, when it comes to, water and, square kilometerage and shit like that. Because fuck their ass. And plus, honestly, dude, as whack as it would be, if Mexico decided to be we're gonna go for the process of defending our country, if you start droning us and shit, I'm gonna low key be well, damn. you know, up bass. Because frankly, I mean, there's no fucking way that, like, they're gonna just, like, take that willingly, especially with the bad bitch in office right now. I'm gonna collect a little keef in this. Well, let's see how much I collected just doing that. Because I should definitely be doing that every now and then. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Got a decent amount in there going on. Nice. Like it. I like that, Holmes. Monty Python intermission. What the fuck? Man, y'all dipped off for a half a second. I said, give me 2 minutes, and it was about 2 minutes. God damn. Man, the skibbity brain is taking over, people sometimes, hasn't it? Being like skibbity da bop bop. Gotta scroll. Yes. Like, gotta scroll all through. It's taking too long. Goodness gracious. But impatient, persistent little shit, had to just be persistent and a little shit. So, I'm here, yeah. I know, I'm just playing around. I'm just messing anyway. I'm just kind of find it funny that, like, I come back, being like, all right, so, yeah, Gulf of Mexico shit. And all of a sudden, it's just quiet. All on the Western Front. Bang. Up. Yeah, you. Just poke your little head out from the corner. Oh, look at you. I'm not scrolling, I'm knitting. Ooh, knitting. Kind of reminds me, I need to get, like, a couple buttons on, like, something of mine re-sewed. And also get some patches sewed on me and shit. Little bean butt. The garbanzo bean. Garbanzo garbo bean. Look at you. Pop. Here, gonna make him sit in this chair. Hey, you. Chair. Up. Come on. Up. Good boy. Oh, you little bean. Hello, little bean dip. You little fluffy bean dip. Oh. Such a little softball. Seriously? Why are you always trying to cause destruction and chaos? Excuse me, sir. It's not cool. Yeah. Little resin booty. Oh no. Oh Lord. Yep. That looks like a booty if I've ever seen one. Bye. Woo. Little scritch boy. Hey. Are you going to be a little emo boy and close that laundry room on me, or are you going to come back over here? You absurd fuck. Buppy. I want to see if he'll sit in this other chair that I have over here, actually. Let me see if he will. Hey. Suka. Chair. Hey, over here. Chair. This chair. Oh, you stretchy thing. Oh. You stretchy buddy. Chair. Right here. No. Chair. Good boy. Hey there. Oh, you little bean. You can lay down. There you go. Well, little bean. Oh, look at you. You're so cute. He's just looking at me like, why are you making me sit here? Seriously? I was hoping maybe that'd be better for you, but I guess not. You're just like, no, fuck this. It's not big enough for me. What a goofy little turd, bro. Square kilometer. You always hear a mileage, but never kilometerage. Kilometerage. My brain's kind of like, what? I know what you're saying, but my brain is comprehending a totally different thing for some reason. Kilometerage. There we go. I had to look away from it for some reason. I had to look away because it was kind of mind fucking me there for a minute. You absurd ball. Seriously? Really? Oh my god. He opened the door, now he's wandering off. He may or may not cause destruction inside. I should probably... Wait, hold on. Do I have anything that... No, I don't. I had to make sure to remind myself, like, I don't have anything to get into. And he doesn't. Because the few times I'll, like, lay something on the counter, he'll get into it. He'll get into fucking ramen. Not the packets, thank God, but the actual fucking, like, you know, the ramen itself. He's gotten into my bacon bits. He'll rip that bitch open and eat the bacon bits. It's like, you fuck. I don't even know how he can smell it for the package, but he can. He's a freak. That full concept you'll try. Well, where I have everything, there ain't no way. Like, I know that much. But, man. He's a fucking little mischievous little shit. To be fair, probably taught him well. I have taught him well. But maybe a little too much. Because he shouldn't be taking that out on my ass. Very devious mean. He is. What? Yeah, he's probably just eating a little food. That's actually not all I'm thinking about. He's probably just doing that. Which, if anything, that's a good thing. Because he does have a full bowl of food in there for him. No, I still don't trust him. Something about him, man. He's just that mischievous. I just know that he can't really get into anything because I don't have anything for him to get into. I just know that much. I mean, he might try. He might look around and try to see what's up, but I mean, ultimately, there ain't nothing he's going to be able to get into. I'm just surprised that he can eat so much, like, and still be a skinny fuck. Like, I don't get that. I mean, it's not like I'm not, like, you know, obviously feeding him, but it's like, Jesus. It's like the dude needs to, like, chill the fuck out, like, a little bit sometimes. Because, like, how in the fuck? How in the hell does this son of a bitch, like, you know, like, go through, like, a bowl of food and be like, nah, I want more. And then he'll start scavenging around for shit. It's like we had to move the garbage bin that was in here somewhere else because he kept sniffing through it. It's like, dude. Just a little freak. Ay. Actually, I have to go to the bathroom real quick anyway, so coffee and that starting to go through me real quick, so it'll give me a good chance to check up on this little shit. Oh my God. He was just being a good boy. He was just thirsty. Though there was a full bowl of water for him, and he drank it down to damn near the end of it. It's like, holy shit. Like, motherfucker, like, went for that whole bowl of water like it was nothing. Good metabolism. My metabolism's too good. Like, considering, like, the, you know, especially lately, eating, like, some high, like, you know, density kind of stuff, like, you know, mashed potatoes and, you know, shit like that, pasta, marinara, and blah, 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 like, you know, and bacon, too, at least to get some meat proteins and shit. Like, I mean, like, you think I'd kind of chunk up a little bit, but no. My metabolism goes through fucking shit like that. Like, I mean, I'm just a twig. And you would think maybe it would start slowing a little bit, but no. Nope. It's just like, what the fuck? Because there is a part of me that wants at least to be just a little extra, you know, just not a lot, but just a little bit. Wish my metabolism was like, not like at 11. I wish it was more at like an 8. Don't want to turn that up to 11. I just want to add like an 8 or something. Silly little thing. I think it thinks he's gonna go outside. Which can if he wants. The fuck was that? Wait, you have a magnet on the door now?
No, I have a metal sign on the door.
Oh.
With a magnet on the light.
I was like, whoa. Because that door's wooden. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, well, why did it have a metal clank to it? Well, I know now. Goodness gracious. I was a little mind fucked by that one. Well, let's get one nice little fatty chunk right here loaded up. Like I said, I might do a little wandering around Portland stream just for the fuck of it. But also, I'm going to finish this last little bad boy out. So I think a little power combo sounds about in order here. Get myself nice and stuned on my little adventure out there. Because why not? Don't really like do too many like, you know, out and about kind of streams usually. I've done it a couple times, but not really that often. Bitch. Mm. Whew. Give me some of that fire, damn it. I know, dude. I need that fire because all in all, that was fire. Excelente. But like I said, I might do a little PDX stream for the fuck of it. And if not, then, you know, obviously I'll just be back here later tonight. So, at least, you know, without further ado, I'll call it good for now, but, you know, stay tuned. Maybe I might come back in a little bit. See.